Today is May 27th. It's a Tuesday, and my wife isn't here. She ended up in the hospital again last night. This happens sometimes. It's one of the reasons why I want to spend as much time with my wife and cherish those moments. Because one of these times that she ends up in the hospital, it might be her last. I don't want to think about that, of course. If that's something that God wants, But I just pray that when she dies, she dies quickly and without pain. Then again, I'd rather she doesn't. But it's something of concern with her health. Just when my anxiety is starting to feel better, this definitely punches me down a few knots and puts me into a attitude of just not caring. I just want the situation to be done and over with, and my wife back, and everything to be okay and back to the way it should be. I think that people get this idea that life could be perfect. We could be happy. Everything could be there. And in some ways, there's at least some partial truth in many ways. Not having to worry about a place over your head, food you eat, water you drink, air you breathe, getting a good night's sleep, knowing about tomorrow and the next day. That's a certain level of comfort. But I think we are wrong to think that somehow we can get to a point where there isn't struggles. I think the richest people in the world still struggle. I think struggle is an inherited part of being a human. I don't think we can escape from that. And the belief that anyone gets to that point, I think, is just false. If rich people were happy, then they wouldn't need to get more money. They wouldn't need to work. They wouldn't want many of the things that they get and the demands that they want. I don't think we should blame our problems and situations on people. Yes, there is definitely fault when specifically like a coworker does something that makes it so you have to do more work. Or when somebody commits a crime, we now have to deal with the consequences of the society. Suddenly out of nowhere you have to lock your doors. And, I'm talking mainly in the past rather than right now in terms of... But a lot of our society is built around the idea that there's people trying to do what's wrong. I understand. People that think hardship is something that's... People wouldn't feel like they need to do these bad things if they didn't feel like their life needed something because it wasn't fair or it was hard or whatever. Government is a perfect example of it. The government and all the different kinds of government, any government of every kind exists because of the problems in society. We cannot function without something helping us and trying to prevent the bad and allowing us to live our lives. We need a place, we need to deal with serial killers, thieves, robbers, liars, whatever it is. A perfect society cannot exist as long as there's people who wish to get away with what isn't a good or a normal life. Whether it's because they're not happy or they feel like they have no choice, they're still building on that. I wonder if tomorrow's going to be better. There's definitely a roller coaster of up and downs in life. Sometimes it feels like all I am is waiting. Waiting for things to cool down. Waiting for things to heat up. Waiting for things... I'm mainly referring to just life itself, just calming down. Or the next part of my life to come forward. Anyway, enough hobble-bobble. And let's do our little... I guess I need to do my dancing now. Subscribe and like and video and comment and then use all the things that they say you need to do successful on YouTube, but I don't really care. Because it's not like I'm going to get big with my dancing moves like this.